We've been waiting all season for this. The top 12 teams fight for 3x3's biggest prize. Welcome to the Fiba 3x3 World Tour 2019 Final in historic Utsunomiya, Japan. We chat with high-flying sensation Isaiah Rivera about a dunk that broke the internet. Alice Kuntz talks about his transition from player to manager, where he's helped guide surprise package Jeddah into the final. And we look at 3x3's impact in Utsunomiya ahead of Tokyo 2020, where 3x3 will make its Olympic debut. Plus, you gotta stay tuned to the end of the magazine. We got a top 5 plays you can't miss. It's quick, it's epic, it's Olympic. Welcome to the world of Fiba 3x3 basketball, a gameplay with non-stop music between two teams of 3 players aiming to hit 21 points before 10 minutes of game time is up. Previously at the Fiba 3x3 World Tour, in Jeddah, Riga Ghetto proved to be kings of the Masters season, winning their 3rd title after beating rivals Lehman in a thrilling final. Without superstar Carlos Lasmanis, Norris Miezes tried his cape on for size and proved he was a superhero too with an MVP performance. Can Riga Ghetto prove they are 3x3's best team with a victory in the finale? Or will defending champs Novi Sad keep their crown? In the most competitive and loaded field in 3x3's history, all 12 teams have genuine title ambitions. Who's gonna celebrate championship glory? Let's find out. I've been waiting for this moment to happen more than my own birthday. The reigning champs Novi Sad against their American rivals Princeton. I had dreams of a tit-for-tat heavyweight bout, but next thing I knew, Princeton were up 5-0 after just a minute. Novi Sad were trying to stay in the game, but Kareem Maddox had a block so violent, it switched the giant screen off. Then the top scorer of day one showed the finesse with the fluid footwork. Just as Novi Sad were crawling back into the game, former NBA player Robbie Hummel flipped the switch and scored the next 3 buckets. The reigning champs started the day on a 19-10 slap in the face. Up next was Zamoon, the team who cost Novi Sad a World Tour title back in 2017 on an unforgettable Tissot buzzer beater. But since then, big man Tomasz Ivosev has joined the team, and he carried Novi Sad to a 7-1 lead after just 3 minutes. The answer from Zamoon was a 9-1 run of their own to take a 2-point lead midway through the game. The maestro Dejan Majstorovic carried his team on his back, but the Dragon, Bogdan Dragic, tied the game with 15 seconds to play. Overtime, after Savage converted on a drive, Lazar Ratchets had a shot to knock out Novi Sad, but it rimmed out. Tomasz Ivosev came to the rescue and ended the game with some nice footwork in the paint. And for the first time in maybe his career, Dusan Bullet ends a game without scoring a single point. Novi Sad may have won this one, but they weren't safe yet. After scoring just 10 points in their first game, they were at the mercy of Zamoon defeating Princeton and both teams advancing on points scored. And with just a minute to play, Zamoon were up 16-15 and Novi Sad were virtually eliminated. But Maddox and Hummel stepped their game up in money time to secure first place, save Novi Sad, and eliminate Zamoon. Like Princeton, 3 other teams finished day one with a perfect record. The new number 1 3x3 team in the world, Riga Ghetto, smashed on opening day. The Latvians won both games before the limit and only conceded 21 points in 2 games against Edmonton and Amsterdam. And a big thank you to Norris Miezes for taking care of the top 5 in the process. Their Lithuanian neighbors, Shake Gubale, continued to impress. They were the only team to win both games before the limit. Aurelius Bukalis had a monster 8 points and 8 rebounds performance against New York Harlem. And then in the next game, lefty sharpshooter Marius Ujupis torched Jeddah in a Battle of the World Tour rookies to the tune of 10 points, including the cold-blooded game-winning two-piece. Piran remained undefeated after pulling off an upset over the #1 team in the season standings, Lehman, in OT on a deep Simon Finsgaard too. The heroes of day one were Jesper Jobse, who went 5 for 6 from beyond the arc to send Amsterdam to the quarterfinals, and Disco Damo, who scored a Tissot buzzer beater to join the Dutch team in the top 8. Day one was rich in drama, but in the end, the top 7 seeds made it through. It's goodbye for the 2017 champ Zamoon, the Nanjing Masters winners Edmonton, Lausanne TNV, and Jeddah. We were all witnessing Montreal. At just 22 years old, Isaiah Rivera is already one of the best dunkers in the business. A prophecy announced 4 years ago by Canadian dunk sensation Jordan Kilgannon.
There's this kid, Isaiah Rivera, who's improving like crazy. So first thing I do, I Skype him. I'm giving him like a bunch of advice on like how to do certain dunks. So he improves like faster and faster and faster. So it's like, man, it scares me because like this guy, if he does things right, he should like kill me. He should be way better than I ever am.
He's an emerging dunk star in 3x3.
Me and my friends, we were all big like Jordan Kilgannon fans, and we freaked out when like he name dropped me in the video. Jordan, he's my biggest mentor in this dunk game. He's the one that like taught me a lot of the stuff that I know. He put it into my head like from really early on that I could be at the top one day. Like if I just put in the work, be consistent and be smart. I kind of knew from the beginning that like I just had to grind consistently and I'd make it. So it's cool that I'm there now. I want to contest against Jordan now. I think that would be like the coolest thing ever.
Kilgannon and Rivera's tight bond is reflective of pro dunking's close community.
It's crazy that I'm competing against them right now, just because like these are the guys I looked up to for so long. But you know, once the contest starts, it's kill mode. You know, I'm out there to compete, and at the same time, like what's so cool about the dunk community is we're all out here to help each other. It's more fun when everybody's really good.
My man Rivera unleashed a new insane dunk, a 360 behind the back between the legs that's been dubbed one of the best ever.
The motion for that dunk, it's so fluid and so perfect because the ball essentially just stays in the same spot and you're like kind of rotating around the ball. I get super obsessive when I'm trying to hit like a new goal, and like that was literally all I could think of, just practicing the form over and over and over again, visualizing over and over again. And that day when I went to the court, I actually hit it like in warm-ups. Like I warmed up with just doing that motion, baby jumps, and then amazing feeling. Literally from the moment that I posted it, just Instagram going wild. Like I actually took a break off my phone because I was like, yo, this can't be healthy. to be getting all these notifications all the time. It's crazy.
All right, here's a look at your quarterfinal bracket, which features 6 European teams, highlighted by the top 2 teams on the World Tour standings facing off, Riga Ghetto and Lehman, followed by American teams Princeton and New York Harlem, clashing in the red, white, and blue showdown. First off, this game was worthy of a final, y'all. In fact, Riga Ghetto and Lehman had played in 3 Masters finals this season, with the Latvians winning twice. After his heroics in Jeddah, Norris Miezes was out to prove he had superpowers again, and he showed everybody he had range all the way to the Tokyo Tower. But then Stefan Kojic went to the bank, and Lehman shared like they cared to make things interesting. Even without Carlos Lasmanis, Riga Ghetto still took flight with Artur Strelniks getting to the basket. Miezes finished it off, and Riga Ghetto make it through to the semis. It's disappointment for a tired Lehman team who played in every Masters event this season.
Lehman is a very good team. All time it's tough games against them, but now I'm happy that we beat them and we prepare for semifinal.
Shake Gubale had become emerging powers, and the defending champs Novi Sad had looked vulnerable this season. and even lost 3 times in the quarterfinals this year, but they wanted to make a statement this time. Dusan Bullet, aka Mr. Bulletproof, dished out dimes like a cash register as Novi Sad started fast. The Lithuanians hung tough though, with Šarūnas Vingalas fading to black like the last scene of The Sopranos in a seesaw of a game. Then, Mr. Bulletproof went bang bang and did what James Harden can't do, hit a one-legged two-piece. Thomas Ivosev, aka Frankenstein, went to the lab and the horror show was over for Shake Gubale. Novi Sad win under the limit and their title defense remains on track.
Today is a new day. It's always like that, game after game, trying to be better, We know how to bring the A game when it's special.
Born in the USA, New York, Harlem, and Princeton. 2 Masters champs this year, repping the red, white, and blue, clashed with bragging rights on the line and a spot in the semis. Dominique Jones, aka Disco Damo, had his groove on early, but New York Harlem went cold. Damon Huffman showed he was a tough man, and then he got deeper than poetry night. It was one-way traffic until Marcel Esenwune went to work at the rim, but Huffman was hotter than wasabi. Esenwune had one last dunk for the season before Robbie Hummel humbled the New Yorkers, and Princeton won easily.
Between the World Cup and winning in LA and really all summer, we played with a lot of confidence all year.
2 pros, Piran and Team Amsterdam, always deliver, and this was no different. Although it looked like a no contest early with Aaron Royer tastier than Dutch cheese. But he should have stayed deep after being sent back to Amsterdam. The D inspired Piran with Simon Finsgaard cashing in 2 pieces. Royer schooled everybody with this filthy move, and Amsterdam appeared to have the W in hand. Piran would make a late rally, but they fell short. Amsterdam are through to the Final 4.
We love Japan, the people are terrific. We competed last year to the final, so we got a lot of confidence here, so we're ready to go.
The Run the Floor Shootout Contest. This is the moment we crown the best sniper in the tournament. The best 3x3 snipers were in action, and Edgar's crewmen set the pace first up. He started slowly before heating up in the middle rack with 4 straight makes. Then my man erupted like a volcano to cash in 3 money balls, tying Steve Sir's record of 17. Only 6-time Masters Shootout winner Steve Sir came close. He started screaming yes sir through the racks to the tune of 11 and needed to nail all the money balls to tie crewmen's, but he could only hit 1. Edgar's crewmen's, your Run the Floor Shootout winner of the Utsunomiya Final. The Slovenian has made a smooth transition from winning 2 world tours as a player to being on the sideline as a manager. This season, he's helped surprise package Jeddah make it to the Utsunomiya Final after a strong back end to the season.
When they call me, I know this is for me, because also when I was with Ljubljana, I did a lot of job which I'm doing here, putting the rosters online, confirming the teams, working with the system, and also I was involved in a process of coaching, managing the team. The game progressed, the game is on a higher level, and then is a demand for extra help. When you finish a practice and you're tired, you don't want to sit another hour and a half or 2 hours watching the video, studying how you're going to play against some new team which you don't know, and this is one thing that can be taken away. There come days when you don't feel good, when you're a bit tired, and on those days coach going to push you, to work hard. And this is very important for the players as well, to go out of the comfortable zone sometimes.
Kuntz has learned a lot about the development of 3x3 through his past experiences.
I definitely adjust some things which I was doing in the past, and also with the practices. With Ljubljana we never had opportunity to practice 9 or 10 times a week. Here everybody's professionals.
He finds it more difficult being on the sidelines than playing, where you can impact the scoreboard.
I don't like when I'm watching the game and I cannot interfere. I'm more nervous sitting on a stand and watching how the game goes than I was on the court. On the court, the pressure goes off when the games start.
It's been an amazing breakout season for Jeddah, who have become something like a family.
I didn't only look for good players. Sometimes you can find the good players. I also look for a good personality. Definitely, I'm very proud of what the team did. I can see, the progress, how they are getting better every day. Actually, how we become a family. We're gonna have a nice story, and we're gonna stay connected probably till the end of their lives.
It's time for Utsunomiya to take flight with the Ashikawa Genku dunk contest. And trust me, we saved the best for last. Young Guns Isaiah Rivera from the USA and Poland's Peter Grabowski, aka Grabo, were pitted against the master, Dmitry "Smooth" Kravchenko from Ukraine. Smooth made a statement early on with a behind-the-back flip slam that was just too smooth. Rivera was not intimidated though, and he showcased his explosiveness with a through-the-legs 360 yam. A donut proved kamikaze for Grabo, but the Fiba 3x3 World Cup silver medalist still dazzled the crowd with an elbow dunk that would have made Vince Carter proud. The final was a dunk classic. Forget MJ Neek, Gordon Levine, Smooth Rivera will be remembered forever. The Ukrainian had straight dimes for his trademark wind dunk, but then top that with maybe the best slam of the season. He pulled out a never-before-seen behind-the-back wind dunk that quickly melted social media. But even those insane dunks weren't enough to stop Rivera's steam train. The Puerto Rico-born dunker had an almost flawless final where he seemed to be jumping off a trampoline. He earned 10s for a behind-the-back dunk over Grabo, and then almost repeated the dose when he went higher than Neil Armstrong to dunk over Smooth. He then claimed the title with an energetic off-the-bounce slam over Grabo that narrowly beat Smooth in a dunk-off for the ages. Proving he's the real deal, 22-year-old Isaiah Rivera takes home the $2,500 check. We've got 3 European teams making it through, along with American hope Princeton. First up, the heavyweight battle. Novi Sad versus Riga Ghetto. In a rematch of last year's final, buckets were tough to find, but Marco Savage made it look easy and continued to be savage. Agnes Chavar's answered with this ridiculous trick shot, but Novi Sad were at their brilliant best with Thomas Ivosev, aka Frankenstein, going down to the dungeon to give the Serbs a 5-point lead. It looked like it was over until Norris Miezis gave Dusan Bullet, aka Mr. Bulletproof, a taste of his own medicine. Riga Ghetto attempted a bigger revival than the Terminator franchise and scored 6 straight points to take the lead at 18-17. Frankenstein rose again before Mr. Bulletproof proved he's the baddest man in 3x3 to seal Novi Sad's spot in the final. Riga Ghetto's magical season is over.
Of course, my team was amazing. After yesterday, we put our game level on a different level.
LA Masters winners Princeton were up against Team Amsterdam, who had done well as the 9 seeds. And the Dutch started confidently, with DeMeo Vanderhorst calling 9-1-1 after putting Craig Moe on the floor, and then he turned D to O. Princeton needed to respond, and up stepped Robbie Hummel with some FaceTime convo. Dime continued to fool the D, but Princeton had too much firepower. Kareem Maddox had the Kareem around the basket, but he called game from deep as Princeton reached the final. Amsterdam's great run in Utsunomiya ends.
People are starting to realize that Princeton is a team. We never take credit. We're always playing together. That's what we do, and so that's how we think about everything.
Go to the finals.
The historical Japanese city of Utsunomiya has become a regular fixture on the Fiba 3x3 World Tour, culminating in hosting this season's finale. In 3 years, the 3x3 showcase has become very popular in Utsunomiya.
1年目は全く知らない中でこの 3x3 関わったので、見たこともないし、テレビで見るくらいだと思うんですけれども、それを実際生で見て、でやっぱりそれで2年目来ると、じゃあもう一回見ようと。でその時には、ある程度知っているからよりこう深く楽しめるし、またその人が友達なり家族を呼んできてくれるし。
宇都宮だっていうのを選手の皆さんから聞いて誠に良かったな。試合だけやって終わりではなくて、その後市民の皆さんが選手を囲んだり選手と懇談をすること。
With Tokyo 2020 looming and 3x3's Olympic dreams getting closer, the events in Utsunomiya have been important preparation for next year's history-making moment.
いうところが、宇都宮としてのすごく強みだと思いますね。でそこはこのワールドツアーをこれだけ毎年積み重ねてやってきている、結果がそこに表れてるんだと思います。
その中でキャンプがあるという話を伺って、ぜひ宇都宮のおもてなしを恩返しとしてさせていただいて、万全の体制で東京オリンピックに選手の皆さんが。
There are many similarities between Utsunomiya and Tokyo.
東京から宇都宮は特急で1時間くらいの距離なので、すごく似た環境だと思っています。暑さというと。
安全安心のほかに選手の皆さんの体調の維持コントロールをするのに、特に食べ物の面、特に小学生中学生それぞれの学校にはボールを。
With momentum growing, 3x3 is set to explode in Japan after the Olympics.
今回東京2020で初めてオリンピックの正式種目になるっていうことはすごく大きなことで、オリンピックに出ることだけがゴールではないので、どれだけより多くの人に広がっていくのかっていうことが、それ東京2020以降のポイントだとは思ってまして。
喜んでいただいているところを見るとできた、それは貢献の一つではないかなと思います。
Thank you.
The FIBA 3x3 World Tour 2019 season comes down to this. Novi Sad, Princeton. The Serbs hope to defend their crown while Princeton look to create history and become the first American team to win a World Tour final. Remember, they had easily beaten Novi Sad in the pool stage. Former Minnesota Timberwolf Robbie Hummel loves the big stage, and my man started fast. But the Serbs, they live for this moment. Dejan Majstorovic kissed the glass, and then Marko Savic's huge rejection led to a two-piece. Dusan Bullet, aka Mr. Bulletproof, capped a 7-0 run, and it appeared to be over with. But you better think again. Robbie Hummel was deadlier than a samurai with a trio of two pieces, and Princeton snatched the lead back on a 10-3 run. Fittingly, this epic season came down to the last minute, and Savage was once again savage. Tournament MVP Tomasz Ivosev's demeanor was colder than Mount Fuji from the line, and he sealed Novi Sad's victory.
Novi Sad win the World Tour Final in Utsunomiya, and they do it despite the doubters. A fourth World Tour Final. Never underestimate the heart of a champion. So you're saying best team in the world?
Yeah, a great team because we have all 4 players can contribute in the most crucial moments.
That makes 4 World Tour Final titles for the Serbian powerhouse who waved the W to all the haters. Here's what you all been waiting for. It's the top 5 plays of the Utsunomiya World Tour Final. First off at number 5, Kevin Kors shouted, "Sayonara!" Get that mess up out of here. At number 4, My high-low Vasquez can score from anywhere, even behind the backboard. Third on the list, man down. The male Vander Horst dropped his defender to the floor like a stomach ache. At number 2, Aaron Royer can throw dimes in the tightest of spaces. And at number 1, Norris Miezes avenges hundreds of Dushan bullet victims by going 5-hole on Mr. Bulletproof himself. He Dushan, OMG. Well, that's all for this season, but the FIBA 3x3 World Tour will be bigger and better in 2020, the year where 3x3 makes its Olympic debut in Tokyo. Remember, you can follow it live with the hashtag 3x3WT on FIBA 3x3 social media channels on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.